beautiful country of Appalachia, all its many valleys, mountains, all its waterways, such beautiful country. And there's a lot of history passed through these old mountains. And you ever wonder how these people lived, the structures they lived in, what they built? Many of them have been preserved. The better ones, they're museum pieces. The common man, they're hard to find. The old places of how they struggled, raised their family, scratched out a living in these old hills. Now I'm going to share with you some old structures, pictures of homes, stores, barns, schools, churches, even old gas stations. So there's a lot of history passed through these old hills. Now, so many of these places are museum pieces. Here's a place in Jefferson City, Tennessee, called the Gilmore Mansion. It's an old place, but it's open to the public. And another old place here in Knox County, just outside of Knoxville, the Ramsey House. Old places, historical place. And here's an old plantation house in Jefferson County. 1840. Old places, they're trying to be preserved, and I'm so glad of it. And a lot of places are privately owned. People fixed them up, renovated them. Old houses. And here in the old mountains of the Smokies, the old pioneer homes, here's what they used to be like. Here's the Jim Bell's place. And they built all these places back in them days by hand. Here's the kind of tools they used too. Hard labor. But they know what they was doing. But later on, the sawmills come in, and they made their places out of rough lumber. Nothing fancy, but it sure beat the hand tool. But a lot of places like this is the Ambram's place, Reagan's place, in Roaring Forks of the Smoky Mountains. Beautiful old preserved places. And the park takes care of them good. Here's Cage Cove, the Dan Lawson place. You could see their works of art back in them days. This is the Tipton House in the Cage Cove. Beautiful old structures. Most were made by hand, but some had some rough lumber in them. Here's the Henry Whitehead place, going up past the Gable Mill up in there. Beautiful old places. But the old farm places around East Tennessee, Virginia, North Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, some of them are just going away. Old places of the old farms. Just nature's trying to reclaim them. Old places like this. Big families, big farms. Some are being preserved, some are still standing. But they're hard to find, historical places. But some are just going away. Only thing saving them is the roof on them. Some are just caving in and collapsing. Families moved on generation after generation, and they don't want the place no more. Just the land. That's all that matters, the land. Oh, the memories of these places. The good times and the bad times. They're just slowly going away. This is how our people was in these mountains. The old farms, just being forgotten. But look at the structures of some of them. Beautiful old places at one time. Some are being renovated, but a lot are not. Beautiful old farm homes. A lot of hard struggles went on in these old places. These were big farm homes, working the land. But they're going away. Times have changed. Now the old common homes of the common man, the old man with a house full of kids trying to scrape a living day to day, working sharecropping, working the farm, this is their homes. They didn't have nothing, but they had each other. Old places of our memories. Some are still standing just for keepsakes of the family. But they're slowly going away. The parents and the family dies, moves on. The hard times these people seen in these mountains. And on these little farms, the families that's raised. The memories. And here's what they had for a bathroom and outhouse. No indoor conveniences whatsoever. And their water, most of the time, was a little Springhouse out back. If they was lucky. But nature's reclaiming these old places of our people, our elders, the times they've seen. But nature reclaims what's hid. And these little old simple places of simpler times. Hard to find these places anymore. I don't want them to be forgotten. And most are just foundations here and there, or old chimneys of things that stood at one time. In the old stores, the old days, like taverns, inns, stuff like this. Here's an old store in Union County, Hamilton's Crossroad. An old store and an old inn, I reckon. It's still in good shape. That stood for over 100 years. And old places like this, the old common store down the road in the country, these places are hard to find anymore. You can tell this is a store, got bars over the window. Way before the highway days, but they're all about gone. Time's gone by. Even the old gas stations with a little store in them. And the old pumps. These days have gone. Even an old train depot. This is in Lee County, Virginia. And the old barns, these are a thing that's really become the past. Wood. Putting up metal barns now. But this is what they started out with. Old simple log barn. Now here's some old different styles of barns. This is out of Cades Cove. Look at the different styles these old timers come up with. And they served their purpose too. Beautiful architecture. They stood a long time. And the park takes care of them good too. And here's the old common barns of the farms. The hard work that's put in these. But I know this one's gone for sure. This is in Lee County. This one's along Highway 33 between Tazewell and Knoxville. It stood for over 100 years. But here last year, an old storm blowed it down. This is what it looked like after the storm got it. Big windstorm. There's nothing left of it now. They cleared the ground. But the old farms, I get the pleasure every once in a while seeing these old farms. Here's a rare sight of an old farm. Look at the old chestnut logs there. Of times gone by. And the old wagons, buckboards, they worked these farms with. Still here. These are museum pieces. Rare to find this old history. And the old dairy farms, thing of the past. Every old area had milk farms everywhere, dairies. But it's a pleasure just to see stuff like this. Because I know it's going away. Another generation, this is gone. But it stood for generation after generation. Unless somebody takes the land and tears them down, they'll last a little longer. And there's the old barns. Beautiful old structures. And the old schools, what I can find, the old schools are just about gone too. There's a few of them standing here. This is one standing in Union County, Granger County. This is one on Sharp's Chapel. Don't know the names of these schools. They just abandoned and gone. Some nature's taking them over too. Here's one in Sevier County. Thing of the past. Old one-room schoolhouse. This is one in Jefferson County. They're slowly going away. Beautiful old architecture though in some of them. Of course this may have been used as a church too. And there's one, famous one out of Boyd's Creek in Sevier County. The old Boyd's Creek School. Here's one in Sevier County, Kodak, Henry's Crossroad, Henry's Academy. They're trying to preserve this, and that's so good. The old churches, here's some old churches out of Cades Cove, just their styles and structures. Here's a Primitive Baptist Church, built in 1827. The Methodist Church, 1902, Cades Cove. Missionary Baptist, 1894, Cades Cove. And here's a church at Sharp's Chapel. I don't know the name of this one. old churches. Now here's one in Leatherwood, Claiborne County, built in 1890. That's an old one. But here's the older Claiborne County, Big Springs Primitive Baptist Church, 1795. And here's what it looks like today. It still stands. That is an old one for this area. Now these old homes, they're slowly going away. It's all about the land. All about the land. The land's what's worth something. And some of these old homes, they're being preserved. Beautiful old homes. And I'm so tickled to death. People still live in them and trying their best to renovate them and keep them up. It's a lot of money and a lot of hard work nowadays, but these are well worth it. I'm so glad to see people renovating these old homes. But like I said, land is everything. Here around the Smokies, the land can go around these main roadways, millions of dollars an acre. And a lot of its land is turning into stuff like this right here, condos and subdivisions. So I hope you enjoy this. I like to remember our simpler times of our elders, the times in their struggle. So I want to thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. God bless, and I'll see you next time.